Hello everyone, it's Simmuz here. Welcome to a brand new video in the Sims 4. Today we are doing something that is kind of different and cool. So I saw Simmer Erin. If you don't know Simmer Erin, then I'm gonna leave the link, I think in an info card or in the description down below. You should check her out. She has an amazing channel and she makes a lot of Simmer content in the Sims 4 and in The Sims. So I saw her posting a thing on Twitter where she was asking Simmer from around the world to post a build talking about architecture or talking about like the culture of the places of origin or where they live. So since, if you don't know, I live in Italy, I decided to take part of this channel and try and make something for this word collab of simmers around the world with the hashtag sims around the world. So if you want to check other stuff out from other creators, you can use that hashtag and you can go follow Simmer Erin because she is gonna post stuff about this challenge that she created. So Italian architecture, which is my architecture because I live and I'm still living in Italy and I'm Italian. Italian architecture cannot easily be described because of the ancient history that is very present in this country. There are so many different art movements that influence the Italian architecture through the centuries, since the Italian peninsula has been at the center of many ancient civilizations like the Greeks with the Magna Grecia in southern Italy, or the Roman Empire and the big influence of the church through the Middle Ages. But also because Italy was and still partially is a place where famous artists influence the arts, creating some of the new art movements and the old art movements that influenced European scene. This video will focus on Neoclassical architecture, which developed in the 1700s and spread throughout Europe, flourishing through the 18th and the 19th centuries. The Neoclassical style was influenced by ideals of elements of the classical Greek and Roman architectures. So neoclassical architecture can be described as simple and linear, yet imposing and grand. In Europe, each country developed slightly different neoclassical styles with particular characteristics, especially in Italy, where there is many different regional differences, and those differences are much more stark. Some elements that can be used to describe neoclassical architecture are the use of the classical orders and porticos. Orders are the different classical columns, and the porticos are the big entrance decks. The use of tympana, which are the semicircular or triangular decorative surfaces above doors and entrances or at the top of buildings. And the use of round arches, which is very, very present. And also the prevalence of a symmetric layout and the use of symmetry as a very important element in every building. As I said before, neoclassical architecture is very regionally specific in the Italian landscape, but some Italian buildings that are considered as representative of neoclassical architecture are the Church of San Nicolò da Tolentino in Venice, Villa Torlonia in Rome, Piazza del Plebiscito in Naples, and the Church of Sant'Antonio Tamaturgo in Trieste. These buildings that I just nominated are the major inspirations behind this build I'm creating, and I really like how this one turned out. The main inspiration is clearly Villa Torlonia. I'm posting some pictures of hopefully how the builds look like, and I really how it turned out. I think it's such a cool, beautiful build, and it's very neoclassical. But as I said, I decided to go with neoclassical architecture just because I really like it. I think it's super like calm and beautiful and very imposing. I really like it. But also, as I said, in Italy there are so many different styles of architecture in every single region, and every region has different ideals of architecture. The reason is Italy has been not only is Italy a very old country, as in many people lived in this country and influenced it, but also because there were many different states for a long period of time. It's only in 1861 that Italy became a full-on like cohesive nation. Before there were all different little states. So obviously each little states have different architecture preferences. So obviously different population as well that had different ideals, and so that means different kind of structures. Other kind of I guess art movements that can be describing Italian architecture are the Gothic one and Rococo as well. There are a lot of Rococo buildings and Gothic buildings in Italy, like for example the Milan Dome, or there are a lot of buildings in Rome and in Venice. And also, I'm gonna say that there are other like kind of different buildings that really come to mind when I think about trying to describe Italian architecture, which are like big colonial homes that are like in the middle of fields, and those were used like in the 1800s for big families that had a lot of fields that had to take care of them. So they were big colonial homes of these families, and there are many of these in the countryside in Italy, like all around the peninsula. You can find a lot of those. And another style that I guess is more full-on entire Europe is the 1800s or early 1900s city center homes with the big like facade that are very flat, with little decoration, and usually are like 5 or 6 stories tall, and they are very like side to side, all touching one another. Those are like the kind of buildings that I think about when I think about Italian architecture. But as I said, there are so many different kind of buildings in Italy, and it's very hard to choose one. So obviously, yeah, this is my like what I chose this time. But I guess I could do a lot of other builds about other different kind of architectures in Italy. If you guys care about that, you can let me know in the comments down below. So I don't know, if you want to see some more architecture builds, like art movements inspired builds, not only for Italian architecture, like other architecture styles as well. Like maybe if you want to see a build trying to explore African architecture, I could do that, or maybe exploring Japanese architecture, or something like that. You can let me know in the comments down below. I really like trying to research about it, like I did for this video, and try and remake it in The Sims 4. I really like how this video turned out. So if you're interested in that, let me know in the comments down below. But as I said, this video especially is made for this Simmuz challenge, I guess I could say, a big all over the world collab, making builds representing the countries where we live in. And I think this build is representative of the Italian architecture, but it is not only what Italian architecture is. So I really wanted to bring this thing, like explain this very thoroughly, because this doesn't represent the entirety of Italy. It doesn't represent it doesn't represent like a little part of Italy, and it's also very European, because Europe was throughoutly influenced by neoclassical architecture. So there is all over Europe you can find buildings that are part of what would be neoclassical architecture. What other things I wanted to talk about is I love how this build has this big entrance piece. I really like it. And oh yeah, obviously you can download it on the gallery under hashtag #SillySimmuz, or use my username #SillySimmuz, or also if you search hashtag Sims around the world, you can search this build again, and you can furnish it, because I did not furnish this build. The reason is I don't think that putting in furniture would make it look more of neoclassical style. It is very hard to do a neoclassical style looking building with the stuff they have in the Sims 4. But if you want to use it, you can of course download it and furnish it as you please, and also change the layout if you need more rooms. I don't know. But I really like it. Hopefully you guys like it as well. I think it really represents what neoclassical look is. There are all these round arches, these big windows, the symmetry, the tympana on the top of the house, all the columns that are very classical looking. I think it turned out pretty well. Hopefully you guys agree. So let me know in the comments down below if you want to see other videos about Italian architecture, other movements, or other word architectures as well. I would love to do more. I really like this one. Here are the screenshots of this video as always. Go again, search for Simmer Erin, go subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and search for the other people that made this challenge possible. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Put on notifications so that you know when the next video is coming out. Thank you so much for watching. Go subscribe to Simmer Erin, and let me know in the comments down below what other videos you would like to see. Thank you so much for watching again, and bye bye.